Okay.
Poll question. Odds and ends. We don't really have many odds or ends. I did want to bring up the Galchenyuk thing, but you already hit that off the top. So let's get our poll question up here. Brought to you by the great folks at Atlas Goods, Atlas GDS INC on Twitter. Check them out. Use promo code CC15 to get 15% off your first order of pop rinds at atlasgds.com. The best pork rinds. You make them right out of your air fryer, and here's the best part. You make them in your air fryer in about 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Or your microwave.
Yeah, if you can count to 120, you can make pork rinds. Or the microwave, even easier.
Even if you can't count to 120.
No, yeah, the microwave does that for you.
Yeah,
actually,
it counts.
believe it or not. So which right shot defense prospect will play in more NHL games next season? Our options: Jett Woo, who's 22 years old, Cole McWard, who's 22 years old, or Filip Johansson, who's 23 years old. Our fourth option: I'm Angry Quads. Who's winning the poll? What are our results right now?
35.1% of voters say Cole McWard, 24.7% say Jett Woo, and 30% say Filip Johansson. 10.1% say they are angry. Great poll question by you.
Cole McWard wins the poll.
Yep.
What do you think of that? Is he the one who's going to play the most NHL games of these three?
I voted Jett Woo.
Why?
Because, and look, he got the fewest votes aside from I'm Angry.
Yeah.
I voted Jett Woo because I thought he took huge strides last year in Abbotsford, and I think he's going to try to build on that on that this year. You assume Christian Wolanin's gone as in up with the NHL, right? The spot is there for Jett Woo to now be the guy down in Abbotsford on that blue line, right? Like you have Jack Rathbone. Yeah, I don't want to forget about Jack Rathbone, friend of the show, but Jack Rathbone's going to try and make the NHL squad, right? Yep. Jett Woo's probably not there yet, but he's going to try and take a massive step. This is the guy that Ryan Johansson, excuse me. Wow. I was just talking about Ryan Johansson in an article about Galchenyuk.
Yep.
Who he got traded 3 weeks ago. Anyways.
Wow, it's been a while.
Yeah. Ryan Johnson said of Jett Woo that this is a guy who's going to play NHL games, right? Yes. Like he's probably going to get a shot in the NHL.
Like he called it on the cusp of at the end last
That's
year.
Right.
Didn't get an opportunity because of guys like Cole McWard coming in and Keto Rose on the NCAA deals who got the NHL games. If there would have been a call-up option, I think you would have seen Woo. But so how many games? You picked Jett Woo. How many games would you think in the NHL season?
The Canucks blue line is kind of loaded now. Not loaded with talent or anything, but it is loaded with bodies. Yeah. There are a lot of guys. So I don't think any of those guys are going to play many games. I just think Jett Woo's probably going to get the longest shot. He also
8?
Yeah, between 15? 8 and 15. Yeah. Between there. He can play the left and the right side.
Yep.
I think Filip Johansson is probably the last. Like I would say Cole McWard and Jett Woo are very close for me. Like I would have those two very close. Filip Johansson's probably the last because I think he really needs to learn the North American style of game.
Yes.
I think that's the name of the game for him. And I wrote this in the expectations for each guy article. This is a good poll question because we just wrote about it. I wrote about it at Canucks Army. And I tagged you in for the prospect stuff. But that's the thing is the name of the game for Johansson is learn the North American style of game and get comfortable.
Yeah, it's a very good example of what players are going to have to go through with Johansson, who was an excellent defenseman in the SHL last season. Came over to the AHL and really was very ineffective in those playoff games. And some of that could be from, listen, he played a long season in the SHL. He just played tough playoff games. I think a lot of it, and the bigger reason why he wasn't immediately successful, was different style of play, different style of breakouts, lots of different type of defending, man-on-man versus zone. Like these type of things are a huge adjustment to make. I don't have Filip Johansson. I think you could make an argument on this poll question that Filip Johansson is currently the most talented defenseman out of Cole McWard and Jett Woo, but I do think he's the furthest away from being NHL ready of those three as well. So I voted Cole McWard because I do think that he's got a little bit more size and length, and I think that he's going to end up playing in more games. But the option right there, it was pretty tough for me and him and Jett Woo. Like I do think between McWard and Woo, both are going to get some NHL games this season, depending on injuries. But yeah, like Vince said, Woo about 10 games. Like, yeah, I can see that being possible. You mentioned the fact that Woo can play both sides. That's huge, I think. So it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out. I personally think it's going to end up being McWard getting like 8 games, Woo getting like 4 games, and then I don't think Filip Johansson will get an NHL game next year. So I was a little surprised to see how many people voted for him, but I think that's because a lot of people have been pretty excited. And Johansson's been a guy who's consistently been in our top 10 prospects list for over the past couple of lists anyways, but he's graduated out of my list today. By the way, my list is for players that are 22 and under. So everybody under the age of 23.